for Petroleum and Natural Gas, Mr. Hardeep Puri. Mr. Puri, thank you very much for speaking to us this afternoon. Sad day today. I want to ask you, because you've known Mr. Ratan Tata, and Mr. Ratan Tata's life was really on a parallel track, wasn't it, to India's evolution as an independent nation. You look at his birth date, 1937, 10 years before India's independence, and then his career sort of mirrors the evolution of our state. Now, how do you view his contribution to rising India's growth story? That's the fundamental question. Where would you locate his contribution in the pantheon of the great nation builders?
We need to celebrate Ratan Tata's life. He led a full life. He's one of the few people about whom it could be said that he was a living legend even in his own lifetime. His contribution to the modern Indian economic development story is unparalleled. I think he assumed leadership of the Tata group as chairman of Tata Sons in 1991. That was the year in which we started assuming outward-oriented postures and liberalizing the economy. Under his leadership, the wealth creation and the wealth grew 20 times, which is no mean achievement. He was in every sense of the word a giant amongst the business leaders. I'm not trying to in any way trying to diminish the importance of any other contributor. But if you look at Ratan Tata's contribution, you look at the Tata Group, you know, he started life on a shop floor to gain experience, and then in 1991 to 2024, the leadership he provided. I can tell you from my personal example that I had the privilege, by the way, of knowing him for many years when I was in the Foreign Service. But in the last, this is my 8th year in the part of the Modi team, and two of our, I think, major achievements. One is the privatization of Air India and the award for the construction of the new Parliament building to Tata Construction. And I had an opportunity to deal with him, his colleagues, etc. He was a giant amongst men. So it's a sad day that he has left us. But I think we should celebrate his life, his achievements, the vision he provided, and the fact that he's one of the few people about whom it will be said that he raised the profile and standing of Indian companies and made them take solid steps towards becoming global MNCs.
That's an important point, and I want you to sort of build on that. Mr. Puri, Tata was India's first globally recognizable brand. I mean, way before anyone else sort of even ventured to look west, as such a totem really for aspirational India. Could you really elaborate on this theme?
No, let me give you a simple this thing. Tata as a recognizable brand. Let me say, what does that mean? What does that branding mean? The brand, the Maharaja on the tail of the Air India aircraft, that was one branding. And then the Tata Group. I've served Rahul in London. I've served in New York. I've served in other global capitals. There are Tata hospitality establishments in all of them. Some directly, some in partnership. I mean, today, you know, if you go to New York, the Pierre, or if you go to, you know, when I was in London, the St. James Court, and so many establishments, he made it a global brand. They acquired properties, they built them, in the process, they boosted India's historical and cultural, you know, image, and it became a part of a, you know, an entirely new experience. And the fact that one group was able to, others have done it also, but it is a great tribute to the leadership he provided. It was a totally professional outfit. When I left the university in 1973, there were not so many employment avenues which were available. But I tell you, the TAS or the Tata Administrative Service even then used to rank as one of the most sought after employment avenues for people aspiring to. that it is a symbol, the brands for aspirational India, absolutely. And they're taking that to now to new lengths. I mean, the automobile story is well known, the acquisition of Jaguar and Land Rover, building all these other cars with collaboration, domestic manufacture on their own. All that is well known, but it is just not stopping in one sector. I mean, the hospitality sector is one. They're going into aerospace. They're in consumer products. So I think it's watches, jewelry. I mean, it's a fascinating canvas which the Tata Group is doing, and at the center of it is or was and will continue as an inspiration to be Shri Ratan Tata.
So let me ask you, because this is an important question. The Tatas, first to really go global, they continue to sort of build Bharat globally. What gives them this confidence, Mr. Puri?
I think if you have a good brand, you don't need much support. I mean, give me a good brand anywhere in the world and the brand will propel itself. But I think one of the greatnesses about the Tata Group is because of their high quotient of respectability and the ethical quotient, people were not scared to work with them. There was successive governments in India were very happy to collaborate with them. Wherever I've served as an ambassador or otherwise, we have very happily joined forces with them in terms of promoting what they had to offer, whether it was the restaurants in their hotels or etc. by I'm not saying you patronize them. No, but if you have a good Tata hotel or a good hotel of any other brand in the city where you're serving as an ambassador and they have restaurants which are serving good Indian food, you support that. Equally when it comes to other products, when it came to Air India, I mean, why did we heave such a sense of relief and satisfaction when the Tatas bid and won the bid fair and square to reacquire the privatized Air India? Because this is a story which the country and different parts of the country, different parts of the economic entities who support it, different entities and different groups, and they grow together. I mean, we've come from being a less than $2 trillion economy in 2014 to being a $4 trillion economy. Now we're heading to $5 trillion. India's growth means the Indian private sector has to grow. The ultimate wealth creation is going to come from the private sector. And I think any government, no matter where it is, will always benefit from and would want to give support to private sector entities who in turn provide support to the country's growth story.
Well, Mr. Puri, thank you very much for speaking to me.